I'm life and business coach Samantha Sifring, and this is the Online Business Building Mamas podcast, where you learn how to build a wildly successful business from home while raising kids. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today, I am going all the way back to basics for all of you. I was talking to somebody recently who is just getting started with her business, and she was telling me that she still needs to finish up creating a course that she's going to be offering. She needs to create a really good website, and she needs an amazing name for her business. And it sparked something in me that is like, oh my gosh, I need to do a podcast episode where I talk about what it actually takes to start your business, what matters, what doesn't matter, and really break it down for all of you who are at that very beginning phase. I know that there's some of you listening who really want to get started with your business, or maybe you have been trying to get started and you've been thinking that you need so much to get started. I get it. I was you. I had that same situation when I first started my business. I looked at people who had million-dollar businesses and thought that I had to have everything that they had. So I needed to have a freebie and an email list and a newsletter and a website and courses and all the things to have a successful business. And what I learned through unsuccessfully doing all of those things and not getting the result that I wanted is that those things do not matter. Those things that you see million-dollar businesses doing, that you see me doing in my business, are not the things you need to do to start a business. Starting a business and scaling a business to $1 million are really different. And so I wanted to talk about the 3 steps to starting your business, the only 3 things that you really need to focus on to make money. And you can use these things to make thousands of dollars per month. This is not just like the steps to getting your first client. This is the steps to making thousands per month. Okay? So, step 1. You need to make time for your business, and you actually need to show up and work during that time. Now, I know that this seems super simple, but this is a major hurdle for most people, especially moms out there. I notice this a lot. Like, a lot of people have these stories about themselves that they're lazy and not motivated, and that's why they won't make time, or they're overwhelmed, or they don't have time. And none of these things are true. I believe that we figure out how to make time for the things that we really want to do. So when we aren't making time for our business, or when we aren't showing up to work during the time that we've decided is for our business, there's a good reason. We don't need to judge ourselves, okay? Like, I don't want you going down this road where you're like, you don't want it enough. Like, I hear so many people telling you that story, and I think it's gross and wrong. There is always a good and logical reason why you're doing something that is self-sabotaging, okay? There is a reason your brain thinks self-sabotage is a good idea. So you need to understand, why do I think that this is a good idea? Why does this feel safer? Why does this feel like the smarter choice? And for a lot of you, it's because you doubt that you can be successful. Let that sink in. For a lot of you, the reason you're not making time for your business is because you don't believe you can be successful. If you did believe that you could be successful, if you did believe that what you were going to try was going to work, you'd be a lot more motivated to do it so you could make money doing what you love. Like, that's just logic, right? But if it's not going to work, why bother? Why make the time? Why sacrifice time from other things if it's not even going to work? It's just a logical thought that we can totally understand. The first step is really making time for business, making time to sit down and show up and do the work, making time for clients to actually serve the clients. Yeah, you have to deliver on the things that you sell, and you need to make sure that you create time for that. A lot of my clients initially are like, why am I not signing clients? And it's because they never set aside time to serve those clients. I have a podcast episode called Making Room in Your Business. It's a deep dive into this topic. Step 2, after you've made time, you need to tell people that you have a business. I was recently chatting with a client. We were coaching in Mama to CEO about this. And she was telling me how she was going to all these networking events and meeting all these people. And then nothing was happening. She wasn't getting any discovery calls booked. She wasn't signing any clients. She didn't know what was going on because she was making all this time to go meet people. And then when we dug into it, it turned out that she was either not telling them at all about her business, or she was presenting her business in a really vague way that was not interesting at all. Like, she would describe it in a way that was confusing, but like turned you off a little bit. You were confused and you didn't want to ask a follow-up question. You were just like, that's probably not for me. Instead, I offered to her that she could share with everybody she meets just a really basic way of describing how she helps people, and doing that with the result that they really want and how she helps them to have that. And then she knew immediately how to describe that. The thing that she said on the call was the most enticing thing ever. I was like, everyone wants that. They are going to be so excited when you say it because that's what they're looking for. So you need to tell people that you have a business, and you need to tell them in a way that's human. It's not being like a weird sales robot. And you need to tell them in a way that connects to them, that's like actually relevant and interesting to them. When I'm out and about, people always ask me what I do, even if I'm not thinking about telling people. It's a very common question people ask when they're getting to know somebody. And I always tell them, I help moms build really successful businesses online. And people are always so curious to hear about it. They want to know what kind of business. They want to know how I help them, what the process is. A lot of people don't even know online business is a thing. So this kind of blows open their mind about what's possible. So you want to be telling people you have a business. For a lot of you who are first starting out, the network that you already have is where your first clients are going to come from. Either people that you know who hear about your business and are like, I want that, let me hire you, or people they refer because they're going to hear about your business and then they're going to think about the people they know who need what you offer. So it's really important to not keep that a secret. You need to get the word out. You need to tell everyone what you are doing in a way that is not weird and is totally you and natural and human. The third step and the final step that we're talking about today is inviting people to work with you. This is so important. So many of you are missing out on people who would be interested because you aren't making the ask. You have to ask for people to say yes. You are going to have people who hear about what you do and like track you down and are eager to sign up with you and want to know all the details and are actively asking questions. But you're also going to have people where it doesn't even occur to them until you make the ask. So you want to be sure to be making invitations. And you don't want to be weird about this. You don't want to be like cold DMing people that you haven't even met. You don't want to be sending unsolicited weird messages to people from middle school. Like, let's not be creepy. Let's just be a regular human about it and let people know. Like if you're writing social media posts, how often are you actually making an offer? How often are you actually putting an invitation out there so people know the next steps? If you're going live on Facebook, are you just saying like, if this sounds good to you, DM me or some other silly, small, easy to miss kind of offer? I want you really being explicit about inviting people to the next step. And that's really going to come from believing that they want it. If people hear about what you do, if they get helped by you in advance through the value you're putting out there, they are going to want to work with you. So you need to make that easy for them. You need to make that obvious for them. So these are the 3 steps to starting your business. Make time for business, tell people you have a business, and invite people to work with you. This is so simple. And this is really what it boils down to. You don't need a website. You don't have to create some kind of workbook or program or anything like that for people to work through. You don't have to have anything established before you can get out there and tell people what you do and how you can help them. So get out there, talk to the humans, make time to help them and have a business, and be inviting them in to work with you. All right, go out there and take action. If you like this podcast, I want to invite you to coach with me over in my program, Mama to CEO. There's you, and there's the consistent income you want to make in your business, and I help you remove everything standing in between. It's lifetime access for mastering your marketing, sales, time, and everything else you need to have the business and life you really want. Whether it's making your first 1,000 or 100,000, I can help you do it. To join, go to mamatoceo.com, mamatoceo.com.